A very good morning, students. In our previous video, we have discussed some of the applications of a stack. Among that, we have started the expression conversion, that is infix to postfix and infix to prefix. Both the concepts we have discussed in detail. That is how we can convert a given infix expression into postfix expression. I have explained the algorithm. Then we have discussed some of the examples. That is nothing but by taking the examples, we have seen the algorithm processing. I mean, how the algorithm will convert the given infix expression into postfix expression, that we have seen. And after that, I have also shown the implementation of that infix to postfix expression conversion. Implementation is nothing but your code. Code to convert the given infix expression into postfix expression. That also we have seen. In detail, we have seen. So after that, I have we started the concept of converting the given infix expression into prefix expression. So that also I have explained with the help of an algorithm. Then we have seen the examples also how we can convert the given infix expression into prefix form. Okay, it is only a three-step algorithm, as you might remember from the last video. So infix to postfix conversion, the implementation we have seen. After that, this one, infix to uh, prefix conversion. Infix to prefix conversion, yeah, algorithm, if you see, it is a three-step process. Okay, in the first process, in the first step, simply whatever expression, whatever infix expression they are giving, simply we have to reverse that expression. And while reversing, we have to make sure that whenever we have the opening parenthesis, we have to replace that opening parenthesis with a closing parenthesis, as well as whenever we have the closing parenthesis, we have to replace that closing parenthesis with an opening parenthesis. This thing we have to make sure whenever you are reversing the string. Then after reversing, what we have to do, we have to convert the reversed string into postfix form. Okay, after reversing also, we will get an expression, a reversed expression, and that will also be in infix notation only, infix form only. In the reversed expression also, we are going to have the operators in between the operands only. So what we have to do, we have to convert that given convert that reversed infix expression into postfix expression. So after that, that is in under step 2 we are doing. And as part of the step 3, what we are doing, we are simply reversing the converted postfix expression to get the prefix expression. Okay, this algorithm we discussed, and after that we have seen some of the examples as well. By taking different examples, we have converted those infix expression examples into postfix expressions. And we said coding, the implementation, you have to refer the notes, and I told you that it is not that much important. That is the reason why we are not discussing the implementation over here. Okay, so uh, then the next application of your stack is the evaluation of postfix expression. So evaluation in the sense, we have to perform all the operations in the given expression to get the final value of that expression, to get the final value of that complex expression. So generally, if it is an infix expression, we do the evaluation based on the operator precedence. Based on the operator precedence and based on the parenthesis consideration, we will do the, I mean, evaluation um, um, in that way. Okay, so we will consider the operator precedence as well as we'll take care of that parenthesis, and we do the evaluation. We as a human being, it is very easy for us to remember the operator precedence and understand the importance of that parenthesis. Okay, but for a computer it will become difficult, because the computer cannot visualize and cannot and it is not having the intellectual property to do this stuff like a human being. So because of that reason, what we are doing, we have the concepts called postfix expression as well as the prefix expression. For a computer, it is very easy to understand a postfix expression and a prefix expression. As far as the evaluation is concerned, we discuss only the evaluation of postfix expression. It is of importance. Okay, and the prefix expression evaluation we will not discuss, and it is not there in your syllabi as well. Okay, it is not there in your syllabi. Only postfix notation evaluation is there in your syllabus, and it is very important. It is a LAQ, long answer question. If you see the concept, it is very easy. It is very easy. It is easier than your infix to postfix conversion. So I suggest you to focus more on this concept, and whenever it is possible, if you have the free time, simply open this concept and try to analyze until and unless you become familiar with this concept. Okay, definitely. See, this sort of coding, this sort of exercising may look ridiculous to you, but it is of important. In order to become a coding expert, in order to become a software professional, this kind of analysis is very, very, very important. Okay, we have done a lot of things which are of least concern. Okay, by selecting the stream of software, your subject is like coding subject only. You have to pay more attention to the code. Of course, I know nowhere this C, nowhere C++ is going to get a job in the market right away. But in terms of basics, in order to do the machine learning, in order to do the what we call deep learning, in order to do the artificial intelligence, in order to go with robotics, definitely you need to have the basics. Without the basics, how come we get into those high level streams? You don't have any programming knowledge and you don't have any mathematical knowledge. How come you are expecting that you will become a professional in data analytics or data science? Because when these two streams are concerned, when we are talking about data science or data analytics, definitely you need to have some hands-on experience as well as some good basics knowledge in both the things, programming as well as mathematics. And from where we'll get the programming basics means from C and C++ and Java only. By analyzing the code, how we are doing the implementations of different algorithms, by analyzing the code, how we are solving the different real-time problems in terms of computer applications. With this type of analysis only you will get the basics of computer science or basics of programming. Okay, hope you got this point, hope you understood. So quickly, what we have to do in today's class, we are going to discuss the evaluation of postfix expression. That we do first, we'll discuss the concept, how we do the evaluation, then algorithm, then we do some of the examples on it, and finally the implementation in terms of coding. Okay, these four things we have to do in today's class. So quickly start that thing. So evaluation of postfix expression. So why it is of importance? Why we need to know the evaluation? Because being a software professional, we have to understand how the computer is doing different things in his own way, in its own way, because we have to say a computer as a thing. So in its own way. So the postfix notation is used to represent algebraic expression, whatever algebraic expressions we are having. In order to express that algebraic expressions in terms of computer's terminology, we use this postfix notation. And the reason we discussed so many times, because if you give the infix notation to the computer, it will keep on scan, it will redundantly scan, it will repeatedly scan the given expression. And this repetition of scanning, it is something like an inefficient job in terms of computational power. So in order to reduce that repetition of scanning, we are giving the expression in terms of postfix rather than giving it in infix form. So this advantage and drawback we discussed in our previous classes, previous videos. So basically the postfix expression, it is a form or it is a notation which is used to give your algebraic expression to the computer. Okay, the expressions written in postfix form are evaluated faster than the expressions in infix form. Okay, if you take the expression in infix form and if you take the expression in postfix form, the postfix expressions will be evaluated faster. Because the reason, there are two reasons. There is no need of any operator precedence. If the expression is in postfix, there is no need of any operator precedence. And the second thing, if the expression is in postfix, it is not going to have any parenthesis. Simply, whenever we are converting the infix expression to postfix expression, what we are doing, we are discarding the parenthesis, isn't it? We are discarding that opening and closing brackets. So without those brackets, your complex expression will become more simpler. Your complex expression will become more simpler. So these are the advantages of using postfix notation of an expression in your computer's terminology. Okay, if you read the second point, the expression written in postfix form are evaluated faster compared to the expressions written in infix form. The reason, because infix expressions are not going to have the parenthesis, as well as there is no need to remember the operator precedence. Because of these two things, these two major reasons, we are going for postfix notation of the expression, mathematical expression or algebraic expression, we can say. So quickly, the algorithm, how we evaluate the given postfix expression, means we have to follow this algorithm, this simple algorithm. It is a three-step algorithm, I mean to say. So moreover, whenever we are talking about the expression evaluation, whenever we are talking about expression evaluation, the evaluation will be done only with numerical values, isn't it? Giving an expression in with variables, giving an expression with operands, okay, giving an expression without values and expecting it to be evaluated, is it possible? No, it is not possible. So suppose if I give an expression in infix, okay, infix form, something like this, a plus b multiplied with c minus d. So like this I am giving. Can we evaluate this expression as it is? No, it is not possible. So what we need in order to evaluate this expression, what we need? We need the values for all our variables. We need the values for all our operands, isn't it? So we need to know what is the value of A, what is the value of B, what is the value of C, then what is the value of D. We have to know all these values. Then only it is possible to evaluate this expression. So basically, whenever they ask you to do the evaluation of a postfix expression, they will give the expression in terms of numbers, but not in terms of operands. Remember this one. Whenever they want you to perform the evaluation of a postfix expression, they will give you the numerical values. They will give the expression with numerical values rather than giving it in operands or variables. So how it will be means like, so assume A value as 2, B value as 4, C value as some 3 and D value as some 7. So like this you take the values and then substitute these values. So then our expression will become 2 plus 4 multiplied with what? 3 minus 7. So like this. Now this expression we can evaluate. We can evaluate and we can get the final value. Okay. So whenever we are going for postfix expression evaluation, we have to remember that we need numerical values, but not the operands or but not the variables. Hope you understood this thing. So quickly go here and check the algorithm. And step 1 of the algorithm is create a stack to store the operands. Of course, whenever we are doing the evaluation, here also we need a stack. Here also we need a stack, and we push only the operands, that is nothing but only the values, numerical values, onto the stack. We are not going to push the operators. But in case of infix to postfix conversion, we are pushing only the operators and parentheses onto the stack, and we are not pushing the operands. This difference you have to remember. Okay, this difference you have to remember. Okay, in case of infix to postfix conversion, what we are doing, we are pushing the operators as well as we are pushing the parentheses onto the stack. But in case of Evaluation, postfix expression evaluation, we are not pushing the operands. Sorry, we are not pushing the operators, but we are pushing the operands, or nothing but your numerical values. Numerical values we are pushing onto the stack. So this difference you have to understand, and this difference you have to remember. So first step, what we have to do, we have to take a stack so that we can push the operands onto the stack. This you remember. And the step 2, we have to scan the given string, whatever string is there or whatever expression is there with us. We have to scan that expression from left to right, and we have to do the following A B, two steps. We have to do the following. If the element is a number, that is nothing but operand. If the element is a number, push it onto the stack. Push it into the stack. We are not doing anything. If it is a number, simply push to the stack. Okay. But if the element is an operator, then what we have to do? If the element is an operator, pop the element, okay, pop the element from the stack, pop the element from the stack and perform the operation. Whatever operation you have, perform that operation, and whatever result you are getting after performing the operation, whatever result you are getting, simply push that result back to the stack. Back to the stack. Okay, when the expression is ended, step 3 you read. When the expression is ended, your complete scanning is over. At that time, there will be only one single value onto the stack. There will be only one single value onto the stack, and that single value is nothing but your final value of the given infix expression, or final value of the given postfix expression. Final value of the given postfix expression. Okay. So in general, in your exams, how they will ask the examples, or how they will ask the concept of this postfix expression evaluation means, yeah, we will discuss. Go here to the whiteboard and delete this one. We'll start with simple examples. Okay. And after that, we will increase our intensity. Okay. Intensity of the evaluation, and we'll discuss some complex examples. Hope you understood. So quickly go with simple things. So first I will take a simple example. So let us see. Uh, Example. So I'm taking 2 plus, sorry, 2 plus 6 multiplied with 9. 2 plus 6 multiplied with 9. It is an infix expression, isn't it? It is an infix expression. So there is a probability that the people will ask you, they will give you infix expression, and they want you to perform the postfix evaluation. What they want you to perform? They have given the infix expression, and now they want you to perform the postfix evaluation of this expression. Postfix evaluation of this expression. So what you have to do in order to do the postfix evaluation, first of all you have to convert this expression into postfix, isn't it? First of all you have to convert this expression into postfix. How we can convert this expression into postfix means, it is very simple. What we have to do, take all the stuff. Okay, first we have the opening bracket, then we have 2, then we have plus, then we have 6, close, then multiplication 9. Like this we have to convert this expression into postfix form. So for that we need a stack, isn't it? For that also we need a stack. So I'm taking a stack. So the first character, what I have the opening bracket. I have the opening bracket. So push this opening bracket, opening parenthesis to the stack. So then we have 2. Add this to the output string 2. Okay. Then we have this plus. Okay. When you have plus, what generally we do means, with this operator we want to push this operator onto the stack. But before pushing, you need to check whether what the stack is having. If the stack is empty, simply push it. Now the stack is not empty, but it is having the opening bracket. So in that case also we have to push the operator onto the stack. So push that operator plus to the stack. So plus will come over here. Plus will come over here. Next we have this 6. Add it to the here. Then we have this closing bracket. Then we have this closing bracket. So that closing bracket, what we have to do, look for the pair. Look for the pair of opening bracket. So here we have the opening bracket. So in between we have this plus. So pop this plus and add it to the output string. So this plus got popped. Plus got popped. So remove this one. So next what we have to do after popping this plus, yeah, you have to discard this and this from your consideration. So remove this also. We are discarding this opening bracket. So now we have multiplication. Push this multiplication because as my stack is empty, simply push this multiplication onto the stack. So multiplication will come over here. Then we have 9. Add it to, as it is an operand, add it to the output string. As it is an operand, add it to the output strings. Now we have 2. So don't think this as 26. Don't think this as 26. It is a different notation, and here it is 2 6, two different digits. Okay, 2 6 plus 9, and then we have multiplication. So once this 9 is scanned from your expression, there are no more characters to scan. So what we have to do, empty the stack by popping all the operators. So we have only one operator, multiplication. So we popped that one and we added that one to the output string. So like this. So now this is my postfix notation. This is my postfix notation. So now in order to evaluate this postfix expression, so what is my postfix expression? Postfix, I got like 2 6 plus 9 multiplication. 2 6 plus 9 multiplication. Like this I got. So next thing, what we have to do? Yes. What we have to do is, yeah, we have to evaluate this postfix expression. We have to evaluate. That is our concept, isn't it? We have to evaluate. So how we are going to evaluate? But we have to take, yeah, read the step 1. What we have to do? Take one stack. Okay. Create a stack to store the operands. That is nothing but your numerical values. Create one stack to store the operands or the numerical values. So I'm creating one stack. I'm creating one stack. Take the stack something like this. So this is my stack. So in this I'm going to store the operands. So my first operand is 2. Okay, again you have to scan this expression. You have to treat this entire thing as an expression, and you have to scan this expression from left to right. So that I am doing now. So first I have 2. So as it is an operand, in case of evaluation, what we have to do? Push this to the stack. So 2 will come over here. 2 will come over here. So next we have 6. Again, that 6 also push it to the stack. 6 will come over here. Next what we have? We have 4. Sorry, we have plus. It is an operator. So if it is an operator, if the element is an operator, pop operands for the operator from the stack. Whatever operator we have to pop. If it is a binary operator, we have to pop 2 operands. If it is a unary operator, we have to pop only 1 operand from the stack. And evaluate the operator and push the result back to the stack. So that is our thing. So as now I have plus and it is an operator. I have plus and it is an operator. So what I have to do? I have to push 2 values from the stack. I have to push 2 values, 2 operands from the stack. So whatever operand we are popping first, that you have to put to the right side direction. And so this 6 we have popped and we have kept in right side direction of your operator. Then pop the 2 also. Pop the 2 because plus is a binary operator, isn't it? Plus is a binary operator. So we have to pop 2 operands from the stack. Initially we popped 6. Now we are popping 2 also. So 2 also you pop. Then remove this 2 also. Remove this 2 also from the stack because we popped 2. So now perform the operation between this 2 and 6. We will get 6. After performing the addition, we will get 8. So this 8 again push it back to the stack. After performing the operation, whatever result you are getting, see over here. See. Evaluate the operator. evaluate the operator and push the result back to the stack. Push the result back to the stack. So now we have evaluated. We got 8. So push this 8 back to the stack. So that 8 will come over here. That 8 will come over here like this. So now the first operator we have evaluated. That is plus we have evaluated. Hopefully you understood. So the next thing again we have 9. So we have 9. What this 9 is? It is an operand. It is an operand. So what we have to do? Push it to the stack. If it is an operand, push it to the stack. So now we have again 2 operands. So next, after this 9, we have one more operator, that is multiplication. We have the multiplication operator. So multiplication operator, as it is a binary operator, we have to pop 2 operands from the stack. 2 operands from the stack. So initially pop this 9. Pop this 9 and add it to the right side of your operator. Then after popping this, my stack will be something like this. After popping this, my stack will be like this. Then what we have to do? Yeah, next, finally, whatever operator you have, whatever operand you have, that also you pop and add it to the left side. So now perform the operation. So this also it get popped. So I will remove this one. Okay, next what we have to do? Perform the operation. 8 9s 72. Isn't it? 8 9s 72. So now this is a 72, a numerical value, a single value. Unlike this 2 6, it is a single value. It is a resultant value. So that value you push it back to the stack. Push it back to the stack. So 72 will come over here. It is a single value. 72 will come over here. Okay. So next, again, go and check your expression, as we don't have any characters, any more characters or any more operators, operands in my expression. So at that point, what we have to do? See, step 3. Step 3 you check. When the expression is ended, now our expression is ended, the number in the stack is the final answer. The number in the stack is the final answer. So what we have in the stack? 72 we have. So this 72 is our final answer. So in this way we evaluate our given postfix expression. Okay, so let us do one more example. Okay, let us do one more example. So I'm taking again infix only, because it will be a exercise for both the things, infix to postfix and then postfix evaluation. So I'm taking infix expression only. So that expression I'm taking something like this: 6 minus 2. Okay, 6 minus 2 divide with 4. Divide with 4. Simple value. Okay, simple expression. Simple complex expression. Okay, so now what we have to do? Yeah, this, as this is in infix, we have to convert it into postfix. So for conversion, what we have to do? We have to take a stack. Take a stack and perform the conversion. So initially, again, we have opening bracket, push it to the stack. Okay, then we have 6 operand, add it to the output string. 6, then minus operator. As you have the opening bracket, push the operator to the stack, minus. Then we have 2 operand, add it to the output string. Add it to the output string. So 2 will come over here. Then we have closing bracket. So look for the matching opening bracket, and here it is. Between we have minus, so pop this minus. Minus will come over here. And after this, what we have to do? Discard this and this, both. You have to discard. You have to remove this closing bracket also from your consideration and remove this opening bracket also from your consideration. So this thing already we popped, and now we are discarding this also. So remove this also. So next we have this division operator. As your stack is empty, simply push this division operator to the stack. Okay, next we have 4. Add it to the output string, 4. Now, as our scanning is over, whatever operators you have onto the stack, simply pop them. We have only division operator, so pop the division operator and add it to the output string. So like this. So this is my postfix notation of the given infix expression. Postfix notation of the given infix expression. So next thing what I have to do, I have to evaluate this. I have to evaluate this postfix expression. Evaluate postfix, that is 6 2 minus 4 division. 6 2 minus 4 division. So how we can evaluate that one? Again, we have to take a stack. For evaluation also, we have to take a stack. Okay, take a stack. Then whenever it is an operator, operand, simply push it to the stack. So 6, it is an operand, push it to the stack. 6 will come over here. Then we have 2, again an operand, push it to the stack. 2. Then we have minus, an operator, a binary operator. So 6 minus you put here, and whatever you are popping first, because it is a binary operator, we have to pop two operands from the stack. We have to pop two operands from the stack. So first I am popping 2. I am popping 2. Okay. So this we have to pop. This 2 we have to pop. So if you pop this 2, add it to the left side of your operator. Left side of your operator. And then remove this. Next, as I need two operands, so I have to pop one more operand, that is 6. I will pop and I will add to the right side of my operator. Right side of my operator. So now 6 minus 2, what will be the value? The value is 4. We have to push this 4 onto the stack. Already we removed this 6, isn't it? Already we popped this 6. So remove this 6. So now I got 4 as the result. I got 4 as the result. So I have to push this 4 onto the stack. I have to push this 4 onto the stack. So 4 will come over here like this. So now my stack is having 4 value. So next, after this, in my string, in my postfix expression, after this minus, I have the 4. It is also an operand. It is also an operand. So push it to the stack, 4. Okay. So next I have division. Again, this division, it is a binary operator. It is a binary operator. So we have to pop two operands from the stack. We have to pop two operands from the stack. So initially I am popping this 4. So that will come over here, right side. And again, I am popping the remaining 4 also. That it will come over here. So we popped both the 4s, isn't it? So remove these two 4s from the stack. Okay. So next thing, perform the operation. Perform the operation. Perform the binary operation division. 4 divided by 4, you will get 1. So push this 1 back to the stack. Push this 1 back to the stack. So 1 will come over here. 1 will come over here. Now go to the string. Go to the expression. Do we have any more characters? Any more characters in my string? Means no, I don't have any more characters. So my string is simply ended. So whatever result, I mean whatever value I have inside my stack, that will become my final value of the postfix expression. So in this way we evaluate the postfix expression. Hope you got this one. Again, we will do one more example, a bit complicated one. Okay, they have given, see, one of the previous year university question paper I'm trying to evaluate over here. I'm trying to take the example over here. Uh, they have given the postfix expression, not the infix, but they have given postfix expression. So our job is more easy, isn't it? Our job is more easy now. So they have given postfix. So that I'm writing over here. Postfix expression, they have given like this: 2, 3, 1. Then they have given multiplication, then plus, then 9, minus. That's it. They have given this expression. It is a postfix expression because operands are coming first and then the operators are coming. So it is a postfix expression, and they want us to evaluate. They want us to evaluate. Okay. How we do this evaluation means, again, simply we have to take the stack. We have to take the stack. So take this expression Okay, take a stack, and here initially what we have okay, start considering this from left to right in this direction, basically in this direction. So first we have 2, push this 2 to the stack because it is an operand. Then we have 3, push this 3 also to the stack because it is also an operand. Then we have 1, push this 1 also to the stack because 1 is also an operand. Then we have multiplication. We have to perform the multiplication. So multiplication, it is a binary operator. So we have to pop how many operands? 2 operands, as it is a binary operator. So first I will pop, because always popping will be done at the top of the stack only. So first I have to pop 1 before popping this 3. So I will pop this 1 and I will add that 1 to the right side of my operator. Right side of my operator. So remove this 1. 1 is already popped. Then what we have? We have 3. Okay. 3 I'm popping and adding to the left side of my operator. So 3 also get popped. 3 also popped. So next thing what I have to do after popping 2 operands, perform this operation. 3 multiplied with 1. So you will get 3 only. Isn't it? You will get 3 only. So push this 3 back to the stack. Push this 3 back to the stack. So 3 will be pushed and 3 will come like this. 3 will come like this. Next, go to the string and check the next operator. Check the next character. So next I have plus. Again it is a binary operator. So 2 operands I need to pop. So first I have to pop 3. 3 I am popping and taking right side to my operator. Right side to my operator. Next what I have to pop? 2. The remaining 2, that also I have to pop and add it to the left side of my operator. Left side of my operator. This right side, left side is very, very important. Okay. Then remove this 2 also from the stack. So now evaluate. 3 plus 2. How much? It is 5. You will get 5. Push this 5 back to the stack. As the stack is empty, simply push this 5 to the stack. 5 got pushed and you have only 5 on the stack. So next, go to this expression and check the next character. We have 9. We have 9. Push this 9 top of the stack. Push this 9 top of the stack. So 9 will come over here like this. So next, go back to the string and check the next character. We have minus. So put that minus over here. Minus. Then yeah, as it is minus, as it is a binary operator, we have to pop 2 operands from the stack. 2 operands from the stack. So first I am popping 9. Pop 9, add to the left of the operator. Then right of the operator. Then pop 5, add it to the left of the operator. Okay, because if you put the first value to the left side, your value will get you will not get the correct value. You will get the incorrect value. So if you put this value, okay, whatever value, whatever operand you are popping first, if you put that operand left side first, instead of keeping it right side, if you put that operator left side first, you will get a wrong value. That is the reason why the first popped operand must be added right side to your operator. The first popped operand must be added right side to your operator. Right side to the operator. That we have done. So now, next thing, these two things gets popped. 9 also popped, 5 also popped. Then what we have to do? Simply evaluate this expression or single operator, that is you will get minus 4. Put this minus 4. Push this minus 4 to the stack. So minus 4, here it will come like this. So next, go back to the string and check. We don't have any more characters to scan. So we reached end. We reached end of the string. So whatever value we have inside our stack, that value will be the final resultant value of this postfix expression. So when you are doing this expression evaluation, anywhere are we considering the parenthesis? No. Are we considering the operator precedence? No. Nowhere we are doing these two. So that is the reason why these postfix expressions or prefix expressions, they are gaining the importance. They already gain the importance in computer terminology or computer evaluation process. So this is how we do the evaluation of postfix expression. Hope you understood. It is a simple process, three-step algorithm. Create the stack to store the operands, and whenever it is an operand, simply push it, and whenever it is an operator, if it is a binary operator, pop two operands and perform the operation. If it is a unary operator, pop one operand and perform the operation. After performing the operation, whatever value you are getting, simply push that value back to the stack. Okay, do this till you reach the end of the string. Do the same process till you reach the end of the string. Once you reach the end of the string, whatever value you have inside your stack, that will be the final resultant value of your postfix expression. Very simple concept. So examples we have seen. So now the implementation. See, postfix expression evaluation implementation, it is also very similar to your post infix to postfix conversion implementation. There also we make use of a stack, and here also, as you know, in the conversion process we make use of a stack. In the evaluation process we make use of a stack. So here also we need a stack. But as we are going to push only the numerical values, integer values more probably, onto the stack, we are expecting an integer stack. We are expecting an integer stack. Rather, you can go with this template stack also, no issues. Even if you take the generic type or if you take the integer specific, no issues. So that is the reason why I kept here 2 points. Postfix evaluation implementation, when we are doing, we have to follow these 2 steps. Okay, the first step, we have to take the stack implementation, either integer or template. We have to take the stack implementation, either integer or template. But in our example, I will take integers only. I will take integer stack. So whatever stack we have implemented prior to the discussion of this infix to postfix, we have implemented one stack. That stack I will take. Of course, it is a template stack. I will reconvert it into integer so that you will get some idea. Okay, between this conversion also, integer to template, template to integer, how we are doing that one. That idea also very important. So I will convert that stack to integers so that you will get the idea of a stack. So code the complete stack implementation using either integers or templates. Then code the utility function postfix evaluation, post eval. We have a function, post eval function, this one. This entire code you have to put. Okay. There in infix to postfix conversion, we kept 2 functions, isn't it? One operator precedence function and the other one infix to postfix conversion function. 2 utility functions we kept, but here we have to put only one utility function, and that too of this much only. You have only this much of lines of code. Okay, so basically it is having one switch case and one while, and all rest is if else conditions. Rest of all are if else conditions. Okay, so okay, so quickly I will go. Actually, I forgot to open my IDE. So that I am doing now. I will open the IDE. That is our Dev C++. Hope you understood these steps. So here, see, we are taking 3 variables, operator 1, operator 2, and operator 3. Then whatever expression, postfix expression we are expecting to be passed, that expression in terms of array we are taking. That entire expression we are passing to the while loop. So this while loop, what it will do means it will consider one character at each step. One character at each step. If you have null character in this TEXP, if you have null character in this TEXP, it will simply terminate this loop. So basically what I mean to say over here is this while loop will continue as long as you have characters in this t expression, temporary expression. As long as you have characters in this temporary expression, this while loop will continue. If you don't have any character, or if you have the null character inside this TEXP, then what will happen? Simply this while loop will terminate. So let us suppose if you are giving the expression like 2 3 plus. So in the first iteration, it will consider 2. In the second iteration, it will consider 3. In the third iteration, it will consider plus. And in the fourth iteration, this will become null because we don't have any more characters in this string. It is a string and we don't have any more characters in this string. And the last character will be the delimiter, that you know. If in the first case, your TEXP will point to this 2. Then we are doing here, you can see TEXP plus plus. Every point we are doing TEXP plus plus. Here also we are doing TEXP plus plus. So every time what it will do? It will process this character and moves to the next character. Likewise, it will come till null character. If your TEXP is pointing to null, then this loop will terminate. So initially what we are doing, if TEXP is space or tab, if you have something like this between 2, instead of giving 23, if you are giving 2 space 3, then this space has to be ignored, isn't it? Then this space has to be ignored. The same thing we are doing over here. Or else some people, what they will do, instead of separating the expression with spaces, they will separate with tabs. They will separate with tabs. So those tabs to be ignored. Those tabs, they are not of our concern, but they are existing in our string. They are not of our concern, but they are existing in our string. So what we have to do, we have to simply ignore them. We have to discard them. This loop will discard that. This if section will discard if it is a space and if it is a tab. Both the things it will simply discard. If it is a space as well as if it is a tab, it will discard that one. It will discard that one. So next thing, if at all our character, what star TEXP in the sense a particular character in this entire string. In this entire string we are talking about a particular character, star TEXP in the sense. TEXP, if it is an array name itself is a pointer to the first character, that we know. If it is an array name itself is the pointer to the first character. So here TEXP will become the first character. Then at some point TEXP plus plus we are doing. Here also plus plus we are doing, and here also plus plus we are doing. So simply what will happen? It will move to the next character. After processing the first character, it will move to the next character. Likewise, it will reach till the end of the string. Till the end of the string. So next what we are doing? We are checking whether the particular character is 9 and 0. It must be less than 9 and must be greater than 0. Must be greater than 0. Then result equals to that value minus 0 we are doing. That value minus 0 we are doing, and then we are pushing it to the then we are pushing that result to the stack. Then inside else, because see here we are considering them as characters. Here we are considering them as character. So from the character, in order to get the integer, what we have to do means we have to subtract the ASCII value of 0. If it is 9 character, if it is 9 as a character, how we specify 9 as a character? Between two single quotes. If it is a 9 character, and if you need, because in order to perform the operation, we need integers. Between the characters, we cannot perform the operations, arithmetic operations, isn't it? So our expression, it is an what we call our expression, it is an string 2 3 1 star plus 9 minus, like this they have given. So this is a string. All these are my characters, because string is a character array. So all these are my characters. So if I am considering this 9, this 9 it is also a character. This 9 is a character. So this 9, like a character, I cannot push it to the stack because I have taken the integer stack. I have taken the integer stack. If my stack is integer, I need the integer equivalent of this 9. I need the integer equivalent of this 9. So how can I get the integer equivalent of this 9 means simply subtract the character 0 from that character 9. Character 0 from this character 9. You will get integer 9. You will get integer 9. Not only 9. Okay, even if you want the integer equivalent of 0, simply subtract 0 from that 0, you will get integer equivalent of 0. 1, for character 1, if you need integer equivalent, subtract 0. So like this, equals to, it will give you integer 1. So all these are characters and all these are integers. 2 also same thing. 2 also, subtract character 0 from character 2, you will get integer 2. Likewise, character 8 minus character 0, you will get integer 8. So likewise, for all the digits, you will get all the character equivalents of digits, you will get integer equivalent simply by subtracting 0. The same thing I am doing over here. Whatever character, whatever operand we are receiving over here, character we are receiving over here, in order to convert that character into integer, we are subtracting 0 from that one. So that result we are pushing onto the stack, because that only we have to do. Whenever it is an operand, whenever it is a numerical value, you convert that numerical, whenever it is an character equivalent of digit, you convert that character equivalent into numerical value, digital value, digitized value, then push that value onto the stack. Okay, so this thing we are doing. Else, okay, else mostly we take binary expressions only. So we are writing the code by keeping the stuff in mind that we are dealing with binary operators only. No unary operators we are going to use in postfix notation form. So okay, of course we can use, but the concept, it will become very vast. Okay, if you use the unary operators, the concept will become very vast. As we are at elementary level, of programming, basic level of programming, we don't go into that much deep. Okay, instead we'll take the binary operators only, and we will make sure that every time we are going to pass the binary operators only to this application. Okay, so if it is not an operand, it is going to be an operator only. Because in a postfix expression, either we are going to have operands or we are going to have operators. Nothing else. No opening bracket, no closing bracket, nothing. So if it is not an operand, then it will be an operator. So what we have to do? Pop two operands. Pop two operands. So operand 1, pop. Operand 2, pop. We are popping two operands from the stack. We are popping two operands from the stack. So immediately what we have to do? Yeah, perform the operation based on the operator. So star txp, if it is a plus sign, what we are doing? Operator 2 plus operator 1 we are doing, and we are adding it to the operator 3. If it is minus sign, operator 2 minus operator 1 we are doing, because operator 1 we popped first, so it has to come right side. Operator 2 we popped second, so it has to come left side. Accordingly we are doing. So operator 3, then operator 2 minus operator 1. If it is division, operator 2 divide with operator 1. So likewise, multiplication, modulo division, okay, power operation, all these operations we are expecting inside your postfix notation, inside your postfix expression. So I am performing the operations accordingly, and whatever result we are getting, that result I am pushing. So the continuity, you check the code continuity. First it will move from here to here, okay, from here to here. Then this is first. Then you have to come from here to here. This is second. Here to here. This is second. And lastly, you have to go here, from here to here. This is third. So after checking whether it is an operand, we are pushing it. If it is an operator, we are popping two operands. Then we are performing the operation based on the operator sign. If it is plus, performing the plus. If it is minus, performing minus. Division, performing division. Multiplication, performing multiplication. Modulo division, performing modulo division. Power operation, performing power operation. Then after this, we are pushing the result, because result, in every operation, result we are storing in OP3. You can check here, operand 3. Okay, in every operation we are storing the result in op3. That op3 we are pushing back to the stack. We are pushing back to the stack. So after doing this thing, we are moving ahead in the expression. We are moving ahead in the expression. How we are moving means simply by saying texp plus plus. We are moving one character ahead. So after performing all the operations, yeah, this while loop where it is ending, here you have started the while loop. This while loop is ending over here. So while loop ended means the string is completed. The string is ended. The string is ended. Then when this while loop will end, if this texp will become null, and where we have the null at the end of the string. So if you reach at the end of the string, that means your complete string is over. There are no more characters to scan. So at that point, what we will do, whatever value we have inside the stack, that value will be our final value. So we pop that value and put that value inside a variable known as result, res. We put that value inside result, and that result we are printing. That result we are printing. So this complete program, if you see, as we need integer array for this program. Okay, as we need integer array for this program, I'm doing that one. Yeah, here I will open my template, go to file, open, that stack implementation dot cpp I have opened. Yes, here strings we do need, and this entire thing we do need. And as we are performing the mathematical operations like power, we do need math.h. Math.h. Okay. So after this, as I told you, I don't need the template declaration. So I'm removing this. Okay. Then as I need only integer, so this should be integer stack. Then top here also no t but integer. I'm making my template integer specific. It is going to pop integer, it is going to peek integer. Okay, that's it. So this entire thing will remain same. Here I don't need this one, no template declaration anymore. So remove this one as well as this one. Okay, so this will remain as it is. After that I have to remove this, then this template also, and we are going to push x of type integer, then is full. This will remain as it is. This way we can convert our template declaration to integer specific. Remove the template and make the return type as not template but integer, and remove this. Okay, if empty, yeah, we are removing this also. You have to remove no template, and this is you remove. Okay, that's it. Here also you remove is empty. Yeah, this you remove. Okay, so like this we are making our template definitions uh, to integer specific. Our template definitions we are converting to integer specific. This you remove and make it as integer peak. Then we have size, you remove this, and here you remove this. That's it. Then precedence, no need of precedence because we are not doing any conversion now. Then infix to postfix evaluation also I'm removing. Okay, this also you remove, and this void the main function also I'm removing this. Okay, I'm simply making empty. So now what I need is I need one more function over here, so that is post eval. Okay, so what will be the return type of that post eval means void. Simply it is not going to return anything. So void post eval, because we are going to print the result from that function only. Post eval of, we are going to pass the character array. To this one we are going to pass the character array. So like this. So now I have taken this extra, all these functions already I have defined. Stack demo, it is a constructor. Here we are doing that. Then push, pop, peek, size, is empty, is full. All these things we are doing. Push we have done. Pop we have done. Isn't it? Push we have done here. Definition. Then pop, here we have done the definition. Is full, we have done the definition. Is empty, the definition. Peak, here is the definition. And size, we have the definition. Okay, so now which function is missing? That post eval. I have added this new function, post eval function, and the definition for this post eval function is missing. Postfix evaluation. Okay, I'm adding that one. The return type is void, and my class name is stack demo scope resolution. And that post eval function, where we have here, we have post eval function, and here this post eval function will take whatever character I'm going to pass. I mean, whatever string I'm going to pass, that entire string will come as it is. Okay, and it is a character array. Okay, temporary expression. So like this. Okay, then here you add the value. We are taking operator 1. Yeah, here when we have declared this top capacity, along with this we also need one result, res, because after performing the evaluation we are storing the value, isn't it? So that value we are storing into a variable known as result. So then we are taking operator 1. Inside this we are taking operator 1, operator 2, operator 3, operator 2, operator 3. So we more need, take the while loop, simply check every character in this expression. Okay, if at all the character is an empty space, that is TEXP equals to, how we represent the space here, like this. If at all it is a space, okay, or uh, if at all it is a tab, TEXP equals to, if at all it is a tab. Okay, so what tab not as a string but as a character we have to. Okay, if it is a tab, then what we have to do, simply move to the next character. So TEXP plus plus, move to the next character, ignore that one and move to the next character, and then continue. Okay, we'll go, instead of continuing, because if it is a space we don't have anything to do any further. So what we have to do, simply go to the next iteration of the loop. So break and continue we discussed. Continue, what it will do, it will terminate the current iteration and jump to the next iteration. Okay, so likewise, so if at all our TEXP, sorry, star, because it is a pointer, to get the value we have to use star, TEXP, if it is equals to, here we have to put double equals to. Yesterday also I have done this mistake only. We are not storing but we are comparing. So if at all my character is less than or equals to 0, 9, and greater than or equals to 0, and bitwise, and if it is same, star TEXP, if it is greater than or equals to 0. If it is like this, what we do? Yes, we have to get the integer equivalent of that character digit. Then we have to push that integer equivalent onto the stack. So how we do that one means, result equals to, take that star TEXP and subtract 0 from it. So then it will become an integer equivalent. So integer equivalent, simply push it onto the stack. Push star, sorry, not star TEXP. Star TEXP, again it is a character, so RES. Okay, push the result onto the stack. Else what we have to do, if it is not an operand, then it will be an operator. So if it is an operator, we have to pop two operands. First you pop the first operator, then you pop the second operator, equals to POP, second operator. Two operators we popped. Next what we have to do, after popping, based on the operation, based on the operator symbol, so star TEXP, we have to perform the operations. If at all my operator case plus, if at all my operator is plus, then what I have to do? Yeah, simply operator 3 equals to operator 1 plus operator 2, like this. Then what we have to do? Break. Okay, break. Here only we have to stop. Next case, if at all my character is minus, then operator 3 equals to same thing. We'll put this entire thing, but only the operator will change. Okay, only the operator will change. Control V. Here we have to put minus. Then we have what? Case multiplication, isn't it? After that, we have to check whether my character is multiplication character. If it is multiplication, what we have to do? Yeah, put the multiplication symbol. Okay. If it is division, case division, then what we have to do? Same thing. Simply put division operator over here. Next, modulo division, case modulo division. In that case, what we do? Yes, same. Control V. Here we have to put the modulo division. Okay, then lastly, we do have a case with power operator. So what we do in case of this is, okay, operator 3, we have a mathematical function to perform the power, predefined function, power of operator 2 comma operator 1, like this we perform the power. Okay, next is our default, that is, if you are passing anything apart from these, okay, default case, what we have to do? C out of invalid operator. Invalid operator. Invalid operator. We have to print this statement. Okay. Then after this switch, what we have to do? Whatever result we are getting, that is in operator 3, that we have to push onto the stack. Isn't it? The same thing we are doing. And after doing this entire thing, after pushing and after doing entire thing, you have to go to the next character. So how we go to the next character? TEXP plus plus. TEXP plus plus. Simply we are incrementing the pointer value so that it will point the next location. That's it. Next location in the array. That's it. So next, finally, after this ending of the loop, where this bracket is going, you just check. This bracket is going to the while loop. When this while loop will enter, exit, when you don't have any more characters in your expression. So result equals to pop the stack. That's it. The final value inside your stack will be the result. So pop that result and print that result here only. C out of, okay, take result is, here you print that result, res. That's it. Okay. So like this, yeah, we have done the entire program. Okay, the stack we have taken. Then only this function you have to write. Postfix eval. Post eval function you have to write. Only this function you have to write. Rest of the things, they are quite common to your stack implementation. Okay. I have just converted that into template implementation to integer specific. Okay. So you can do with template also. Next thing, I'm creating my postfix expression. So that same expression we will see. Okay, I have 6, okay, 4, 7. 6, 4, 7 star plus. 6, 4, 7 star plus. Don't consider it as 647 multiplication plus. It is not a single digit. It is an individual digits. Okay, so like this. So what I have to do? Integer, I'm finding the length. Length equals to, because I have to create the stack. How much stack I have to create? It should be equivalent to the length of the string. So strlen of, this is your step 1, creating the stack. Okay, exp. Okay, whatever expression we have, we are finding the length of that expression. So then we are creating stack demo. Okay, stack demo st of len. This will create the stack. This will create the stack. Next is we have to call st dot posteval. Posteval by passing this exp. By passing the exp. So finally return 0. That's it. This is the end of the program. So compile. Yes, you have errors. What it is saying? Empty character constant. So here you give one space. Yeah, template, no template. Size int. Stack equals to new int of size. Because integer specific, no template now. Again, what it is saying? I think it is just a warning. TEXP was not declared in this scope. We have not declared TEXP. We have declared TEMP I have taken, not temp. It should be TEXP. Control C and here you put TEXP. Okay, then save. I think it is just a warning. So we will get the output hopefully. It should be not forward slash, it should be backslash like this. Maybe that one. Yes, our program got successfully compiled. So right now I'm executing. Yeah, it will give the resultant value of that postfix expression. Whatever expression we passed now, it will give the resultant value. See the result we got like 34. Okay, result we got like 34. Quickly, shall we check whether we'll get the same result if we do the evaluation manually? So here where we are printing the result, because yeah, here we are printing. It is not taking the new line. So I kept one backslash n over there. So close this and compile one more time. And execute one more time. Yeah, 647, then it is pushing 28, then it is pushing 34, and finally we are getting 34 as the result. We'll go and we'll do this expression uh, evaluation. So what was our postfix expression there? If you remember, yes, our postfix expression was, in the program we have to check, right? So in this program, our postfix expression was like 647 multiplication plus 647 multiplication plus. So that I will take over here. 6 4 7 multiplication then plus. So in order to evaluate this one, we have to take a stack. Take the stack. So that we are taking like this. So first, according to our algorithm, what we do, we push 6, isn't it? 6, as it is an operand, push 6. So 6 will come over here. 6 will come over here. Next, 4. Again, push 4. Push the 4. So 4 will come over here. Next, 7. Push 7. Push 7. So 7 will come over here. So next, multiplication. Multiplication, it is an operator. We have to pop 2 from the what we call stack. So first I am popping 7. So 7 will come this side and 4 will come this side. So 7 gets popped and 4 gets popped. 7 gets popped and 4 gets popped. I'm removing those two. So next, evaluate this, will get what? 28. So if you get 28, push 28. Push 28. So that 28 will come over here. Okay. Next, we have plus. Okay. We have plus in our string. So it is an operator. So plus, we have an operator. So pop 2, and it is a binary. So pop 2, 28, 6. It will be 34. So push 34. So like this. Push 34. So already we popped these two, isn't it? 6 and 28 we popped. So remove these two. So then 34 you push. 34 will come over here. Okay. So next, go to the string and check. Do we have any more characters? No. No further characters. End of the string is reached. So what we have to do? Finally, whatever value we have inside the stack, pop that value and print that value as result. So result equals to 34. Like this you will get. Hope you got the same thing. First pushing 6, 4, 7, 28, 34. 6, 4, 7, 28, 34, and then finally result equals to 34. Result equals to 34. Hope you got this one. So this is very simple process. We have three different expressions: infix, postfix, prefix. Among this we have seen infix to postfix conversion, infix to prefix conversion. Then we have seen infix to postfix conversion, postfix evaluation also. How we do the postfix evaluation, that also we have seen. With this, we conclude our stack applications concept, applications of stack concept. And after this, we move to the queues concept that we will see in our next video. Queues, circular queues. Two things we have to wind up. With that, we conclude our second unit. It's very simple. Second unit, very easy. Okay. We have more problem in your third unit, linked list. It is also a vast, very big unit. Second unit, it is very small. And fourth, fifth units also very small units. So focus more on second, fourth, fifth unit. But whereas first unit, all basics, and third unit, it is a vast unit. Third unit, it will take more time. Okay, last time we spent a lot of time on this third unit. Okay, so here also we'll do the same and we'll focus more. We'll try to get into that because linked list concept, it is very much what we call technical concept. Okay, once you get familiar with this linked list, you're like you will gain a lot of flexibility in programming. Okay, in terms of pointers, in terms of